In this video, I will show you how you will update automated indicators. A number of indicators will be updated automatically. However, this value will have to be checked by two persons before they are displayed in the public web page. Each indicator has data entry and validator user nominated. In order to explain this procedure, we will use the level of export services and goods over GDP indicator as an example of an automated indicator. When it is time to update an indicator for what you're responsible for, you will receive a timing to update value email from the PAF system. You will receive a separate email for North Macedonia and another email for the benchmark countries. In this case, I've received two new emails. One email for the European Union country and other email for North Macedonia country. In order to open the link of the indicator, you should be logged in on PAF. So if you're not, click on the PAF link from the email and the admin portal of PAF will be opened. Now you should log in with your login credentials and click on the sign in button. After you're successfully logged in on PAF, go back to your email and click on the Open Indicator button. Whether from the first or from the second email, it will take you to the same place because we work with the same indicator. So click on the Open Indicator button and the General Information tab of that certain indicator will be opened. I just want to highlight that you will be able to modify only the values of the indicator. All other tabs will be in read-only mode, and if any changes are needed, you will need to contact the administrator. In the General Information tab, we have all the basic information about this certain indicator. Because it's automated indicator, we don't need to make any calculation here because the values are directly retrieved from an internet source. That means that if I switch the tab to Values tab, you will find already offered value for a certain year. So, because I've received two new emails, one for North Macedonia and other for European Union, that means that me as a data entry user, I need to submit two values. So if you see that the offered values are very similar to the previous three values, then probably it is the correct value. But if there's different value, probably there is some technical problem and you will need to contact the administrator through the Contact Us link from the email address. So, first I will submit the value for North Macedonia. As you can see, this value is very similar to the previous three values, so probably it is the correct value. Click on the Submit button and you will send this value for an approval to the validator user. In order to submit the second value, switch the country to European Union through the drop-down menu Choose Country and find the value that is waiting for a submission. Again, check this value, and if this is very similar value to the previous values, then probably is the correct value. Click on the Submit button and you will send also this value for an approval to the validator user. Now, me as a data entry user, I've submitted two new values. So at first moment, the validator user should receive two new emails. I will switch now my role to validator user to show you how a validation looks like. So at first moment, validator user receives two new emails, new value added emails. These emails have same content because we work with the same indicator. The difference is that the validator user has one value for a validation for 2020 for North Macedonia and other value for validation for 2020 for European Union of the same indicator. So in order to open the link of indicator, you should be logged in on PAF first with your validator account. Click on the PAF link from the email and the admin portal of PAF will be opened. Now log in with your login credentials, and after you're successfully logged in, go back to your email and click on the Open Indicator button, whether from the first or from the second email because we work with the same indicator. Click on the Open Indicator button and you will be redirected to the Values tab of that certain indicator. The validator has two options. One is to approve the value and other is to reject the value. So, before you make a validation, please check the values based on the calculation and the data coming from the sources, and after that make a validation. So in this example, I will show you how an approval looks like. I will approve this value. Click on the Approve button and Add Comment section will appear. If it's needed, insert comment, but because I'm making an approval, I will just save. Click on the Save button and this value after the approval will go public on the public site. Also, an email will be sent to the data entry user. In order to validate the other value, I should switch at first moment the country. Go to the Choose Country drop-down menu and switch to European Union. You will find also that the value for European Union for 2020 is waiting for validation. In order to show you how a rejection looks like, I will reject this value. So you need to make the calculation again and to check the values based on the data coming from the sources. And let's imagine that this is the wrong value. So you will need sometimes to make a rejection. Click on the Reject button, Add Comment section will appear. You can insert comment here because you're making a rejection. For example, wrong value. Click on the Save button and this comment will be saved. Also the value will be rejected and an email will be sent to the data entry user. Now the data entry user receives two new emails. One status changed email about the approval and other status change rejected email about the rejection of the value. I will switch again now my row to data entry user. And at first moment, data entry user received two emails. One for the approval of the value for 2020 for North Macedonia country. And if the data entry user click on the Open Indicator button, he will be redirected to the Values tab and he will find that the value for 2020 for North Macedonia was already approved, and that means that he can't edit anymore. This value went public on the public site. The other email the data entry user received is the status change rejected email. It says that the value 46.7 of the same indicator for 2020 for European Union has been rejected by the validator user. In the email, we have the rejection reason. It's wrong value. This is the comment I've left while I was validating this value. So it says, please contact the administrator to update the value. This means that the data entry user does not have permission to resubmit the value for the automated indicators because the values are automatically gathered from an internet source. So if he tries to click on the Open Indicator button, he will be redirected to the Values tab, and if he switches the country to European Union, he will find the rejected value, but he won't be able to edit or to resubmit this value. So in order to resubmit this value, to enter the new value, he will need to contact the administrator through the Contact Us link from the email, and after clicking on the link, you will be given the possibility to explain in the email what went wrong with the indicator, and the admin will make the necessary amendments. So this is the procedure of updating automated indicators.